Hey everyone. Okay, so first of all, I want to introduce everyone to our newest fur baby. This is Coco Pelli. We call him Coco. He's sweet. He wants to say hi. Huh, say hi. Okay, so he's going to be hanging out for a little bit. Um, so today I want to go ahead and talk about things no one is talking about. And if you're familiar, if you've been following the Anchor in the Light broadcast, then you know this is all about bringing the light to you guys, seeing what I'm seeing, what I'm seeking out. I am a truth seeker. I seek out my own information and I present it for everyone else too. So, Instagram, I'm going to be posting the article. I'm going to be posting this article tonight. It's just got a few tweaks to make on it, so it will be in my link in my bio this evening. And on Zoom over here, you'll be able to see everything I'm talking about. I'm going to have to leave out some words that are in it just for censorship reasons so that it doesn't get flagged. But other than that, I will spell them out for you guys on Insta and we'll just go from there. So I am super excited. This has been something I've been wanting to share for a few weeks, and I've finally just got all my info compiled and I'm going to share this. Just as a prerequisite, I am probably going to be doing a second one of these because, again, I can't fit everything in one blog post. So I'm just going to share, as much as I can in this one, and then we will go from there. So, and as always, if you guys have anything that you're finding that is in the light, that is, a really good thing that is happening, DM me, email me, whatever, let me know so I can put it on here. I'll give you credit, whatever you want. But it's nice to, when we work together to share the light and to share the things that are actually going on, it just reaches more people, right? So, all right, so I'm going to dive right in. So things no one is talking about. First of all, things are not getting worse. They are getting uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil. So doom, that's all we've heard from day one of this situation. And for those not in the know, the counteracting parts, it was easy to think that I'm a truth seeker to the core. I am a free thinker. I never take anything for face value. I do my own digging. The thing to remember about all of these amazing things is that MSM is not where you will find any of it. In fact, they want the opposite for us. They are not going to be sharing with you guys and all of us all the great things that are actually happening behind the scenes right now. And, this is where we have to, again, be our own advocate for the truth, be our own advocate for what we are believing in, and seek it out ourselves because we will not find it there. Now, as we see that, as I've talked about in previous posts and stuff, the MSM is crumbling. It's going to continue to crumble. It's barely hanging on. So this is why we're feeling all of this fear right now or seeing all of this fear, I call it fear porn, come out, and just literally, guys, it's ridiculous. However, it's because they're in the final stages. They're just about done. So anyways, this is why I'm sharing this with you guys, just because, so you know that my information is not derived from mainstream media. It is derived from my own education. So as I was journeying for truth, I was enlightened about a thing under the thing. And it led me to some beautiful places. What had actually happened was I had reached out to someone that I respect highly and is very much, like me. And she's actually in my doTERRA world. And I'd reached out to her and I was like, she had posted a Q&A box and I asked her, I said, do you think that there's something good that's going to be coming out of this? And again, I'm asking, I want to know. And she shared with me, she enlightened me about a thing under the thing. And it led to some beautiful places. That which I would like to share with you today. This article will give you hope, fill your heart, and give you a peace of mind. And maybe if you're like me, a lot of information you didn't know before. Guys, I didn't know all of this, right? So let me start off by saying that when this all started occurring in March, I didn't realize that there were two sides to this, the dark and the light. I knew that there was a dark world, and I was informed of their agenda many years ago when I started researching VACCINES. However, I was unaware that there were people in high positions of power fighting for the light too. It wasn't just, this group of people that were awakened to what was actually going on. And there's a lot of us. However, I didn't realize that there was, again, people in higher power fighting for the light as well, which gave me a huge peace of mind. So this is a link to an article that I found, and this is one of the first things that I was led to. So I'm just going to share with you this little clippet of it. And hey, love. I'm just going to share with you this little clippet of it. And if you click on it, it will take you to the article. It says, there is a certain connection that is going to come forth and be revealed, having to do with your political scene. And this one, that is the president. His connection with those of the forces of light, and that is going to be revealed, and very much more as well. But I am not here to spoil the surprise. I am only here to assist and help you prepare and help to prepare you, and for each and every one of you to know that all of this shall pass. Okay, so again, if you click on that, it will take you to that article. So this is how this started. As I was getting ready for bed one night, after tirelessly hearing more fake fear porn news, I asked my angel guides for guidance. I said, please show me the news. I need to hear, please show me the truth. And this is actually what happened, guys, because I was a mess. I was like, what do I believe? What is going on? I didn't realize who was on which side, right? So about 10 minutes later, I got this intuitive nudge to Google the Great Awakening. So I did. And then this site popped up. And if you click on this, this will take you to the site that I went to, or that it led me to. And so many articles, guys. I spent all night reading, all night. I found my peace. I found my truth. I found, exactly what I needed to know. And again, I have a really great relationship with my intuition. So I listen to it and it guides me exactly where I need to go. There's no question. I don't question it because I know it is the truth. So I, as we call it, had been red pilled even more than I was before. And every day more and more people are doing the same and seeing the signs of an incredibly bright future. As the veil is being lifted, it is important to remember things are not getting worse. They are being brought to the light now. So let's talk about the signs of a bright future. First of all, let's talk about Q. So this is just a clip of one of the Q posts, and it says, we will have our country back. So Q is where the Alliance communicates with the Anons, which are, all of us that are following it. The awareness of Q, and if you click on this right here, it will take you to Q's website, is rising daily with people who are stepping up to become free plus critical thinkers, over listening to MSM. Q started in 2017. I wish I would have known about Q then, to be honest, but divine timing. To follow Q requires much critical thinking, but I have two people that I follow here that decipher it, bring it to light to me, kind of. If I don't understand everything on Q, there's a lot of, like I said, I've not been following it for the last 3 years. So there are a lot of people that know a lot more than me that can decipher it, and I follow those people because I want to know. So X22's broadcast and Beach broadcast, and if you click each one of those, it will take you to each of their sites. Is great at explaining everything. If you're ready for your eyes to be wide open, there it is. And this is an intro to Q. If you don't know what it is, if you've never heard of it before, here it is. And that's just, it'll break it down for you and show you exactly what it's doing. All right, so this is my favorite thing ever. Let's talk about Nasara. I've talked about this previously in a couple posts, but this is huge. And there is so much in this. Like, I could do a post just on this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to share with you where I am getting my information, and you can dive in, guys. So Nasara, again, you can click on any of these links and it will take you to information. This, my friends, is a law that will change our lives, and it is being implemented right in front of our eyes. like it's happening. It's done, right? It's happening. It should just go. It has not been announced yet. So this does things like abolish the IRS, return us back to constitutional law, pays off debt, all debt, creates a new currency system backed by gold, and it's called a rainbow currency, establishes world peace, releases massive amounts of money for humanitarian projects, puts wealth back into the hands of the people, including stimuluses, not saying that the one that we got was a part of it because it's not, but it's a sign of it. And this is if you think this is too good to be true, here are links to gain education on how it is already happening. This is a rabbit hole that you are going to want to go down. This is something that the MSM is not talking about, okay? Because it's happening, and because it is happening, the deep state is having its downfall, okay? It's done, okay? And so it knows if it were to talk about this is something good, right? They don't want that for us. Really, really, really important to understand that. So again, this is a rabbit hole to go down. There are so many good things happening behind the scenes. So if you want to click on this one right here, this is the Beach Podcast. She is amazing. We follow her. She does broadcasts daily, very insightful on all the things that are going on right now, not just NESARA. However, she has 21 posts just since March talking about NESARA, and I love following her on YouTube because she goes through her articles and she deciphers everything. She shows you how everything is already happening. And then there's the investment chat. This guy, he's kind of funny. He's just so chill, just whatever, and he kind of goes through all the things and shows you how they're already happening as well. So it just depends on what your preference is, but I feel like there is a lot of value in both of them. He's on the more of just like, he's more of an investment person, so he kind of talks about all kinds of different things in that area, but he shows you how this is already happening. Okay, so this one is amazing as well. So this is this is talking about how the president is fighting to eradicate human trafficking. So this is happening. The children are being saved. Okay, I was introduced to this back, I don't know, whenever I started doTERRA, so what was that, about 4 or 5 years ago? And because doTERRA partnered with OUR, which is Operation Underground Railroad. So I was introduced to this world way back then, and I didn't know the extent of it. I knew that it existed, and I knew that there were things fighting against it. It's all coming together now. So the 8 million children go missing each year. Where the hell do they go? Okay, like this is a world we will never even begin to understand, but know that it exists, and it's being dismantled. If you check out OUR, and if you click on this, it'll take you to their site. In the work that they do, you will see why this world needed to change. Tim Ballard, and if you click on this, it'll talk about, this talks about the wall of OUR, has been working with the White House since 2017, or basically Trump's first day in office. And HILLARY is now on trial for this exact issue finally. So here's some enlightenment on that. This is a link to They Never Thought You'd Lose. And this goes in depth about the plan and all the things and the counteracting of it, and it's enlightening. And here's her emails if you've not dived into that. If you want to dive into that, there they are. Feel free to, it's all there. And these are from the WikiLeaks. So this has been exposed in this has to be exposed in stages to the public in forms of documentaries, and they're coming out. So we have the Out of Shadows, which touches on it. We have there's a Epstein documentary on Netflix now as well. There's like things coming out. They're going to come out articles and resources of information for those who want to know more, because this can really traumatize the majority of the population. To open our minds up to, even, like I said, you can't even begin to believe the things that have been going on in this world. And like, sometimes you just know enough, right? So again, you just have to know that it existed and that it needs to be dismantled. And this is what is happening, and this is what we are fighting for right now. So Okay, so the next one, the release of suppressed cures and technology. So this is really big. This is exactly why I've never participated in anything along the lines of race for a cure. I personally don't support lining the pockets of people who are suppressing the things we are trying to find. It's like a freaking mind game. Okay, it's 2020, you guys. The cures are here. They have been here. They are coming to the surface because big pharma, aka the deep state, is crumbling. This started with an introductory of HCQ by President Trump, and in the NASARA law, it requires the release of all of the suppressed patents and cures and technologies and all this stuff. So this ties into the NASARA as well. But this is just a really big benefit of it because, again, he introduced HCQ. So by him introducing that, again, this is steps because we have people in this world that are so they don't want to be advocates for themselves, right? So this has to be introduced slowly. Now, here's something really interesting. Remember the CDC, Big Pharma, who are not government, not just government agencies. Actually, I'm not sure that there are even government agencies. If you dive into where the money, the funding for those agencies comes from, you will understand the influence of certain individuals, and it's not for the better of any of us. I bet you'd be really surprised. So you can kind of dive into that and see like who are the major funders. And I think that we know, who's the major funder of who. Thankfully, the president has retracted our funding for them because they are not anything that we want to be associated with, right? Again, they have other agendas, and people are finally understanding this. Now, for people who have, whenever this started and the people were saying, follow the WHO, follow the CDC. No, I was not into that at all. Again, because I was open to this world years ago. People like that, that have been open to this, thankfully, I'm grateful that I have gotten a lot of backlash from people, right? And to be expected, right? We're going against the norm. We're going against the narrative. That's the way they wanted it. They wanted those type of people to be attacked for a certain reason, okay? We don't fit the narrative. So when you dive into this can be really, really, really like, holy shit for a lot of people, like, because they just completely don't even realize what was going on. So all of these are intertwined. They all have an agenda. And again, it's being dismantled. So yay for that. Okay, healing. Let's just talk about healing in general. Me as personally, I am a Reiki practitioner. I have been helping many people throughout this situation. As soon as I was able to gather my own, and this is why I gather my own, right? Cannot pour from an empty cup. We have been healing deeply as a collective since March. Many people, including myself, have been having deep-rooted trauma and pain come up and out through the situation. It's bringing all dark to light to be transmuted and released. This is coming up as sudden panic attacks, anxiety, loss of sleep, anger, rage, etc. But what is happening on a global scale because of it is the vibration of the planet is rising. So if you understand energy, you understand that whenever negative energy is, inside, like it can weigh down and it can weigh you down as a person. So imagine whenever, as a collective, we're all having that energy weighed down. What happens when you have a lot of negative people in a room? If you're sensitive, when you walk into that room, you're going to absorb that energy, right? Imagine if you go the other way. Imagine if you take every single person on the planet that is having these major releases, these major transmutations of this negative energy and being released and brought to the light and transmuted into something beautiful, and people get lighter, the world gets lighter together. So this shifts the planet. It shifts everything. It's energy. Everything is energy. Okay. So there's a few articles here. It's a thread of very heartwarming articles on that. And I love this person that does these articles. Her name is Ann Albers. She's an angel channeler. She is like amazing in the way that she words things and just very uplifting, very, all truth, but It's really really heartwarming. Okay, so the alliance. I was, again, through this website, was introduced to the alliance. Again, the people in higher positions that are fighting for the light. So there's a lot of what they call white hats that have been working on liberating the planet from the deep state for years. Okay, so the first was JFK. While he was alone at that time, and we all know where that led, again, and that is where the term conspiracy theory was created, because people knew why that happened, the truth of that. So the opposite side of that didn't want people to be awake to that. They didn't want people to be conscious of that. So they created the term. And here we go. Right. So, but all that's being dismantled now, and they are the conspiracy. So it's really great to see that shift. While he was alone, there are many in the alliance fighting for our ultimate freedom right now. This plan has been in place for years, okay, years. And it's all coming to light now. Okay, so let's talk about resignations. And I've talked about this before. We are up to 12,882 total. And this means just that the corrupt CEOs are resigning. This is so big, and I don't think it's not widely talked about, right? Unless you are involved with Q or you know about Q. But they've been resigning since 2017. These are, again, corrupt CEOs that are a part of the trafficking, a part of the deep state, a part of the, all the shit show. Okay. This is really great. Okay. So then we have, this is a picture of the executive order for blocking the property of persons involved with a serious human rights abuse or corruption. And this was December 21st, 2017. So this has been started, again, since the president's first day in office. Okay, so assets of the corrupted people are being seized by the president. Now, what this means is this is amazing. This is great. He is covering all the bases right now. And whenever you have the puzzle and you can see all the puzzle pieces and you can watch it kind of fill in, this is amazing. So again, all of these people that are corrupted, blocking their property, right? So everything is being seized and it is going to be given back to the people. We're talking about a lot of money here. Everything really. And so whenever you think about this, I mean, we're talking quintillions amount of money, right, that is being seized and redistributed. Okay, and again, this kind of goes into the Nasara, and if you kind of dive into that, you'll get this a lot more. Okay, so let's talk about Billgates, and I'm just going to hover over that name. He's being exposed for who he really is, and if you click on that, it will take you to just to get to know him a little bit. If you're not familiar, parents all over like me are crying tears of joy, and here's just one reason why. And if you click on that, it'll take you to one of the reasons why we are all super excited. There was a post about his warrant for his arrest, along with all the other people in the CDC. So this is, like I said, I cried tears of joy because I've known that of the leaders of the dark world for, again, about 4 years, 4 or 5 years now. So this is amazing. Okay, so, and again, being exposed to the people who thought he was just a really great guy who wanted to save the world, really the opposite. All right, so adding to that point, this is really great, and I was really happy when I heard this, because again, this is something that needs to be exposed. The SIDS rate has declined drastically since the lockdown. If the decline in the SIDS was a side effect of the lockdown, now's the time to ask yourself why, if you're not already aware of that world, okay? Food for thought. So if you follow TTAV and if you click on this then you can kind of get in tune with them. Then you've heard about this already, but you can do your own research there. Search all the things, you'll find it. So it's really interesting to put, again, that puzzle piece together, and that is being shown to the people of the world. It's being shown. It's not being told. It's not being, whatever. It's right in front of your faces. Okay, so this is the next thing is the central banking system is being dismantled. And there's going to be a global reset. This is all a part of NESARA as well. So there's many links to this NESARA in this post, because NESARA does, again, so many good things for the world. So in this post it says, and if you click on this, it will take you to, or if you click on this right here, it will take you to the thread of this, and it talks about, like, there's a whole bunch of what's going on, what's really awesome. So this says POTUS is purposely methodically draining the financial and political swamp simultaneously. He wants to bankrupt the Fed using their own weapons against them. This is not the old system being manipulated anymore. This is the death of the old system and the birth of a new one. So I think what's really important here is to remember that we are not going into a depression. That is what the deep state wants, but we're not going into there. We are completely eradicating that system and implementing a completely different one, okay? And this is being shared by so many people. Again, just follow the Beach broadcast and you will be enlightened of everything. Okay, so togetherness. Let's talk about that. So that's a really great thing that's happening. We are regaining internal insight of what truly matters. Connection is more desirable than ever, and with that desire, it can be more easily sustained by creating more of it due to the contrast of the situational experience. So we have created, contrast is not a bad thing. We often need a lot of contrast in our lives to understand what we do want. So with this, a lot of us are being separated. You have people that are on their phones 24/7. We have people that don't even know, like, when their family's home, when they're not, like, people that don't talk to their neighbors, people that, are just lost connection completely. And the biggest thing is they've lost connection from themselves. So what this experience has brought about is a need for togetherness, which is really interesting, which is, unity, all the things that we need in this world. Okay, let's talk about new businesses. So because many had to experience contrast through the situation, it opened their eyes. Many people are coming up with launching, creating their own things. And again, I'm a huge advocate for being your own boss and living in a way that serves you. So this news is really exciting to me. Imagine all of the new heart-centered businesses that will become of this. So again, people are realizing that they don't want to go back to the way that they used to live. So, their old job that may have been soul-sucking, to say the least, because, I'm just an entrepreneur at heart. I am very passionate about being your own boss, leading your own life. And so many people, I've heard personally of so many people that are just coming up with these ideas and just new things, and it's amazing. And what that does for us is it creates this more, it kind of dismantles the corporational aspect of the world today. And we're going to see that crumble as this new economy is being built and created. So this is the foundation of it. This is I shouldn't say the whole foundation. This is like a part of the foundation of it. Okay, so this is a really good thing that's happening. Okay, so the Great Awakening. People all over the world are having these light bulb moments of, holy F, what is really going on here? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I consider myself a more spiritual person, not really a religious person at all. So as I was diving into finding my own belief years ago, I was led to this book. And if you click on this link, it'll take you to a book called Heart-Centered Living. And in it, it talks about the second coming of Christ. And this is when I found out that I was a light worker and what I was doing and that there was a name for it. So the second coming of Christ. This talks about how it is not actually physically Christ coming down to earth and saving everyone, which is what most people believe. And as this event came about, you know, a lot of people, the belief that was being shaken was the thought that someone was coming down here and saving us. Okay. That's not actually what was happening. Okay. But actually, what the second coming is Christ working through individuals like light workers to awaken and together save the world. So now as we watch this happen, it's really freaking cool. And I can't tell you how many people I have not even spoken to, but have read that have spoken this exact message. So it's, you know, it doesn't really matter like where your beliefs are in religion or spirituality or anything like that. But I think that as a collective, we can agree that like more people are waking up, you know, and whatever you call that is whatever you call that. But it's just, you know, being yourself, being awoke to reality of life, to what you are, who you really are. Okay, not what we've all been fed. So I thought that that was really interesting, and that book was really, really great. So there's a link there if you want to purchase it. I think it's on the Amazon. So if you seek the light, you will always find it. So I plan on doing a part 2 of this as more good continues to happen. But for now, remember this: the wound is the place where the light enters. And this applies to all things. I shared this on social media the other day. It's a very powerful just message. So, you know, as we are going through this and as we have this giant wound, you know, we have to have the wound in order for the light to enter it, to clear it up and bring it to the surface to heal. Okay, so that's it for today. Like I said, I'm going to post this evening, so you can jump onto the article. You can go to all of the quotes or all of the links in there and just kind of check it out. So if you have any light that you want to share with me, if you want anything you want me to put into the next part 2 of this, just feel free to send me a message. I am open to all things good that are happening right now. So, okay, guys, I'm going to jump off, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later.